Have you ever felt completely stuck in a job, just dreaming of doing something, anything else? Well, today, we're diving into the incredible story of Nisha Oswal, a woman who knew that feeling all too well. She decided to trade a life of feeling undervalued for a shot at success, and she did it by starting a small food stall on a busy street in Indore. Her journey is this amazing lesson in spotting a super simple opportunity and, just having the guts to go for it.
And this quote, this is the heart of her entire story. We just had a plan, and we executed it. That's it. No overthinking, no waiting for the stars to align. Nisha's journey just boils down to one simple, powerful idea. Execution is absolutely everything. So let's get into how she pulled it off.
So, before she became famous for her delicious momos, Nisha's story was one that, I think a lot of us can relate to. It was this endless cycle of jobs that just took everything from her and gave almost nothing back in return. And I mean, just look at this. This was her reality. Can you imagine working up to 12 hours a day, hopping from job to job, just to bring home a salary that doesn't even come close to reflecting that kind of effort? It just wasn't a sustainable way to live. It was a constant, exhausting grind with no real reward, no sense of fulfillment. And that was the fire that made her realize something had to change.
And when you put it side by side like this, wow, the transformation is just crystal clear. It wasn't just about trading those crazy long hours for a more flexible schedule or swapping a stagnant salary for an income that's actually growing. The real change, the most important one, was that satisfaction level. It went from rock bottom to sky high. This is the why behind her whole story.
So, how'd she do it? How did she make that leap? Well, the idea wasn't some complicated business model she read in a book. Nope. It was simple, it was practical, and it was sparked by a problem she was facing herself. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? With all the different street food options out there, why Momo's? Was it just something she loved to eat, or was there some real strategy behind it? And the answer was just pure, simple business sense. Nisha noticed two things. First, Momos were super popular, a real trending food. And second, to actually get good ones, she and all her neighbors had to travel way across town. So she didn't invent some brand new product. She just brought a really popular one to a neighborhood that was desperate for it. She was literally solving her own problem, and by doing that, she solved it for her entire community. Brilliant.
Okay, so having a great idea is one thing, but actually acting on it, that is a whole different ballgame. This is the part where most people get stuck, but it's exactly where Nisha's story really takes off. I love how honest and relatable this is. She totally admits she was hesitant, feeling that universal fear of what if this doesn't work out. But instead of letting that fear paralyze her, she and her husband just adopted this experimental mindset. Let's just try it. That simple phrase, that was the key that unlocked everything for them. She says they didn't waste a single second thinking about what other people might say. Will they judge me for setting up a street stall after I've had office jobs? She just didn't care. All that mattered was taking the plan they had and putting it into action, one step at a time. And here it is, the result of that very first step, 310 rupees. Now, that might not sound like a huge amount, but this wasn't just money. Oh no, this was validation. This was proof of concept. It was the universe telling her, yes, people want what you're selling. This small earning from a single day was the fuel that turned all her hesitation into real confidence and momentum. So, the location was right, the timing was perfect, but to build a really loyal following, you need a killer product. Nisha knew she couldn't just sell the same old momos everyone else was offering. She needed an edge. So while other vendors were offering the standard steamed, fried, or tandoori options, Nisha decided to create a signature dish, something totally unique that would get people talking. And that's how the Kurkure Momo was born, this crispy, crunchy, amazing twist on the classic dumpling. And getting that perfect signature crunch isn't an accident. It's a very deliberate four-step process. It's the marinade, that special batter, and then the breadcrumb coating that creates this incredible texture before they're even fried. This level of detail just shows you it's not just a Momo, it's a craft. And wouldn't you know it, her strategy paid off big time. Her signature creation, the cheese Kurkure Momos, became the runaway favorite. This just proves she didn't just meet a demand that was already there, she created a whole new craving. So you have a great idea, a fantastic product, and that leads to the most important thing for any business, a huge wave of community support and genuine love from your customers.
And this created this powerful, positive feedback loop. You know, more sales led to more confidence. That confidence pushed her to keep making her service and product even better, which of course led to even more sales. This is literally the engine of entrepreneurial growth, right here in action. And the proof is in what people are saying. One customer said her momos have the best taste in Indore. Just think about that for a second. She's no longer just the convenient local option. She's become a destination that people choose over the famous spots.
This one adds another layer, doesn't it? She's not just feeding people, she's becoming a beloved part of family routines. When you win over the kids, you know you've made something truly special.
And finally, this. This is the ultimate seal of approval. Not just a weekly treat, but a daily ritual for some people. She hasn't just built a business, she's built a community of regulars who just can't get enough. What's just so remarkable about this whole thing is that in her entire 4 months of being open, Nisha says she hasn't received a single negative or discouraging comment. That fear she had of what people would say, it turned out to be completely unfounded. Instead, she found a community that was just ready and waiting to support her. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. Nisha's story is so inspiring, not because it's some complicated genius plan, but because it's so incredibly simple. She saw a small local problem and she decided to solve it. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What little inconvenience in your own neighborhood are you overlooking? What simple, brilliant idea is just waiting for someone, maybe you, to just try it?